So episode 12 with Peyton is out. And yes, the outtakes are still happening. Honestly, I think people just listen for those now.
They would prefer us failing over succeeding. That feels about right.
But today we've got someone who actually knows what he's doing, an archer, coach, and one of the people behind Hamilton Archery Center, Lee Blanchard.
Let's get into it.
Pow.
All right, Lee, thanks for joining us. I've been to Hack a few times. Been there with my son. It was geez, I think that was 2018 or 2019 when I got it back into archery.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. It was just before COVID. I think I took my son there, and I also attended your adults in competition program. That was a great learning experience. Always found it a very welcoming place.
We try.
So let's get into how you got into archery in the first place.
Yeah, so it was way back. I don't know. It was like 15 years ago. It was a long time ago. Anyway, played a lot of video games. Still play a lot of video games. But my dad said, "Listen, we got to go do something outside." Sure, not against it. We went tried archery, and right off the bat, we stuck with it. We joined a club in Beamsville way back called Hamilton Archery. Is where we first started. And me and my dad and my brother used to go out and shoot. He doesn't shoot anymore. A little bit, but not really. Shot there for years. As we started shooting there, we started with just flinging like bare bows, not knowing what to do, and then we got into compounds, and then got involved in the club, helped run kids programs. I did all my volunteer hours for school, helped teaching their programs, which is how I kind of got started with teaching a little bit, and then eventually, can't remember how long ago it was. We've been open for 7 years, I think. The gentleman who ran it passed away at a heart attack. Hardworking guy, just worked too hard. And then we didn't have a club to shoot anymore. He ran out of his backyard, so it's like he had like school buildings, like trailer buildings, just slapped together, and that was the range. And he had a 3D course.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it got cold in there. That's how we started, right? And then when that went away, we're like, we don't have anywhere to shoot. We went probably a year without any club. We looked around and there wasn't anything like really appealing. And then my dad, Glenn, knew somebody who ran a horseshoe club, and we said, hey, we need somewhere to shoot. They needed money, so we're like, all right, we'll let us shoot. You can have all the money. We don't care. We don't want the money. We just want a place to shoot. And that's how we got started. We would run weekends, probably like Saturday, maybe Saturday, Sunday. I can't remember what days we were originally doing it. But for months and months and months, it was just me and my dad just shooting by ourselves, and nobody else were really coming. And then we slowly started getting members, and it kind of snowballed into what the business is now. And it's a full-time gig for me and my stepmom. We got a pretty big community.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah, that's for sure. The times I go there, it's usually full. There's always members there shooting. And like Valley and I usually, because of the distance, we're able to attend usually Fridays or Saturdays, right? And I know we've gotten some coaching from you as well. So getting back into you as an archer, when did you realize, or when did you start taking it seriously? Like you were just like, oh, this isn't a hobby anymore. This is something I really love.
I think it was a hobby for a really long time. And I really didn't start taking it seriously until I started teaching people at our club.
Really? Okay.
And over time, it kind of slowly turned into, we were doing a lot of stuff wrong. Bows weren't set up properly. Like, what was shot process? I don't know. You point at the target and you shoot it, right? That developed really bad target panic. Took me a long time to figure that one out. And just eventually we just started figuring stuff out by ourselves. There's a lot of stuff online, like Dudley and Griv. Like everything is on YouTube. You just got to know how to put it into your shooting.
Right.
And just slowly developed over time. Started like teaching kids, and then that blew up. Adults, private lessons and stuff. We never really, like, we did the introduction to competition, which is what you did, or continuing into competition is what it was called. It was okay. Teaching adults is harder. It's harder to find a good structure. People don't want to come every week, and then it's a weird thing.
That's fair.
Kids are a lot easier. They're there every week because their parents bring them.
Yeah, I know. Like Valley, I know we attended every week. But we, like I think for Valley, I think she realized it wasn't just a hobby when she first picked up a bow, and it took me a year or two to really settle into really loving the sport. So as you got more involved, like what part of it draws you in the most? Like, is it the competing, the practicing, coaching, technical side, all of it?
A lot of it. Like I love coaching. That's kind of my main thing now. And then I do love competition, although I don't do a lot of competitions myself, just because I'm usually coaching. But my favorite moments are like the pressure, right? When I'm a big indoor guy. When say your average is like a 296, it's pretty tight. There's not a lot of room for error. When you've got that last arrow, I love that feeling of that last arrow where it's just like, hey, you've been shooting for a couple of hours, one shot, it could be a whole lot of wasted time. Make that shot matter, right? I love that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you like being the coach in that moment, or do you like being the actual competitor in that moment, or both?
Both. I love competing in that moment, but it's very rewarding when you see students in that moment and then you see them succeed. It's a really good feeling.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like,
Just like I used to coach hockey. So for a long time, I lived in Sudbury, I coached hockey, and I remember I remember I had a student. Well, not a student, player. He struggled a lot with. They were younger kids. They were like 8 to 10. And he struggled with stopping. And I had an assistant coach. I had him run the drills, and I spent the whole afternoon with him just getting him to learn how to stop. And that was when he finally did. I was like, this is awesome. And I knew like there, I was like that. I want to do this all the time. Like just teach people how to do stuff. So I sort of get that feeling. The other thing too, like I just wanted to have like I don't think I ever got to really thank you though. There was one time Valerie, and she was really struggling with her bow because she's got like a Matthews TRX. It's the 38. It's the Gen 1, but like version 2. And I think they only made it for a short while, and they didn't make anything for it. She always struggles when she gets strings for it. And I know you sat with that bow for like 3 hours before competition to get it all set up for it. I'm grateful for it. I know she's always been grateful for it, and she told me to mention it. So before I forget, I wanted to say thanks for that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's my old bow.
Yeah, it is your old bow. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, the timing, that string the timing did not want it. It was a pain, but we got there.
No, you like that. You really have a talent for that kind of stuff. You know, but I guess you've been doing it for a while, right? But tuning bows and doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you just learn from tinkering, and you eventually figure stuff out.
Yeah, with the Matthews, sometimes there's a lot of tinkering. So
yeah, the new ones are nice though, where you can micro adjust the I guess you're moving the limb technically. Whatever, it's the same thing as Bowtech. It's a good system. We used it the other day.
Yeah. I think especially with the title, you have to because the limbs are so far apart. They're trying to take away torque, right? So the only way to really, we were talking to Julian Simard, I think 2 episodes ago, and he was talking about that. He had a buddy because he has a TRX, but his buddy has the title, and they were like, Julian's like, oh, I just moved my rest a little bit to to fix the tear, right? And his buddy's like, I moved my rest like this much and it hasn't fixed any tear, and it's probably because of that limb pocket's so wide and doesn't allow for a lot of torque. So.
Yeah, if you're tuning out there, air rest should stay center. Get the right spine or shim it. Don't be moving the air rest too much.
All right, yeah. I think you said a 16th to an inch was the most you want to move it. So yeah. All right, let's shift into Hamilton Archery. So it's I guess what's the sort of your I don't want to say this, like the ownership? How does that work? Is it you, Glenn and Lori? That I know you're saying you and Lori are sort of, that's your full-time jobs to run the place, right?
Yeah, so it's I stayed out of it when the business opened. It's complicated. There was other stuff. We did another business before this. But anyway, it's technically owned by my stepmom and my dad. I'm not an ownership. I'm just technically an employee. Me and my stepmom work full-time. So we're both basically salary. And she is great on the paperwork. I do the coaching stuff. We do our stuff well, and we kind of we function well together.
Yeah. She's also great at the front desk. I'll give her that much. So definitely. And then how did the club? I don't know if you touched on it a bit, but how did the club actually get started?
Well, we started by that horseshoe club, so we helped them pay the bills, and then eventually we grew and grew and grew, and we kind of asked, hey guys, we've got a community now. We need more time. We've got classes to teach. We were basically paying almost their entire bill for the building, and they just eventually wouldn't give us enough time, and we kind of outgrew it. And then we left there and got our own place, and then said we kind of in between there was a decision to go, we've been doing this for fun on the side. We all worked full-time jobs and then did the club on the side. And then at the breaking point of, okay, we're not getting enough time, we can't really do this at this location anymore, we kind of had to make the decision of like, are we actually going to do this full time? Is this feasible? Can we pay the bills while running an archery range, which like historically doesn't work great with most businesses? Like a lot of places will pop up and they'll close in a couple of years because they just there's not a lot of money in archery in Canada. There's really
That's
not.
true.
Yeah.
Very true.
And then we decided to do it full time, and then we moved into the building we're at now on Parkdale in Hamilton, and have been doing very well this whole time. So, and then we survived COVID, so that's all good.
Awesome. Thank God.
But when you open, what was the original vision for your club? Well, like just a training space, or was it a community hub as well?
Mostly a school. We treat it like a school. So we just want to teach archery. The big thing for me is it is such a fantastic sport that is very unique. It's a personal sport. It is a mental sport. Like physically, it's not rocket science to put the arrow in the middle of the target, right? But doing it every time is not the easiest thing to do. I just want people to do it. I just want people in the sport. I don't care if they're doing target, 3D, field. I don't care what you're doing, hunting. I just want people doing archery is my big thing. So we really wanted a space where it was easy to get into. It was easy to get help. And we provide a space where it's a good place to learn, right? And that's the big thing where you look at a lot of clubs, they're membership based, right? Which is awesome, right? You buy a membership, you can shoot there for the year. Sweet. As a business, the membership thing doesn't really work. You're losing a lot of money in target repair, and then you kind of fight with not being able to keep the standard that we would want to keep up. We want the space to be you can show up, you can shoot arrows, and you can get the help you need, which means we need to have at least one, probably two coaches there at all times, either teaching lessons or helping people. And that's what we want. If you come into the range and you're paying to shoot like hourly and you need something, we've got you. We got a bow press. We can do everything you need, right?
Nice.
We can teach you. We can help you tune whatever you want, right? That's the goal with the club. Is we want people shooting.
Yeah, you got to check it out sometime, Justin. It's actually quite the club. So, so let's just once the doors are open, how did the business pick up quickly? Did you find it slow as people discovered the range?
There was a slow period, probably the first 4 months where we had to get the community back because there was a gap in between when we were at the first location and when we moved into the second location, got it ready for people to shoot. Because a lot of stuff you got to take care of before the business opens. It picked up pretty quick. We've always been heavy on the kids programs, so that has been fairly consistent. There's been dips and quiet, like the summer time gets kind of quiet, but because people are outside doing their own thing and traveling and don't want to commit to like a 6-week session kind of thing, which is usually we do laps of 6 weeks. But it's been pretty steady. I don't know. It's been a long time, but I don't ever recall a time period where it was like the business was hurting.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's the one thing that makes you guys stand out from other clubs is that pay-as-you-go model, right? No memberships. You just come in, you buy your range time, and then you shoot. So for our listeners who haven't been there, what does a typical week look like at Hamilton Archery?
So the business, public shooting is open from 3 to 9 on Monday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. And then Saturday is no public shooting because we do all our classes in Adult League Saturday night.
Okay.
And then Sunday morning, I have classes to teach. That's why it's not open. So I have my competitive team practices every Sunday morning. There's like a 4-hour period where I've got 2 classes and then 1 class that stays for the 4 hours. They're really competitive kids. So that's what we're doing Sunday morning. And then we open to the public at 3 o'clock.
Right on.
So Justin, we got to get you into the club shooting some spots. I know you're scared of paper from what I've heard on the other podcasts.
It's not that I'm afraid of paper.
He's afraid.
Fine, I'm afraid. But paper's a little boring.
It's boring, but it's you, the paper, and you're fighting some demons. You gotta stick with your shot process. It's there's nothing better.
Yeah. It's like Peyton was saying, right? It's if you're just going out and shooting, you're not practicing. You're not learning anything. You're just going to be the same. You gotta have, and that's what spots. I think that's what spots does for me. Is I like today, for example, I'm working on, and I said this in the last few podcasts, my chicken wing. I have a bit of a chicken wing going on back here where I don't get enough of that pressure from the the scapula into the spine. So I've been able to correct my front arm, which I had a lot of difficulty with at the beginning, just because of my posture. I'm older and I have a bit of a hunch. So it's been a while. Getting it straightened out. But now it's a chicken wing. So I'm working with. I work with Josh Webb every once in a while, and he's threatening to take a push pin to my elbow. So
Whatever gets the job done.
yeah, I'm hoping not to get to that point. But today, so I went out. I didn't really do a lot of aiming. I just practiced, just feeling that, and then the shot coming off and how that feels, right? So, but that's what paper help. And it's not just paper that helps that, but having an indoor spot where you're out of the elements and being able to, just focus on what you need to focus on really helps. So
Yeah, blank bailing is great. You don't need a target. You just need a spot to shoot at and close your eyes, focus on what matters, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I guess I guess you talked about what you guys offer besides range time. You have youth lessons, you have adult programs, you offer private coaching, and then you had the I guess it was called continuing competition program. So is that still ongoing? Are you still doing continuing competition?
No, not for the adults. I got to figure something out for the adults. It's we ran it. I ran it for 2 years, maybe 1 year, 2 years. I think I did it for, and I was happy with it. We got a lot of good work done, but it's not quite up to the standard I want. So I got to go back to the drawing board and thinking of something like a leveling system where I want everybody who's at a time kind of being at the same place with knowledge and skill so that it's productive, so we can all work on things that we need to work on. Because a lot of the times with adult classes, you get a guy who's new and then a guy who's been shooting for a long time, and how do you teach everybody at the same time? Like the new guy needs to learn different stuff, right? So I got to find a better way to structure it.
Yeah, it's so I used to oops, sorry about that. I used to referee adults, and that's why I quit refereeing. I'll be honest. Adults are very difficult to they take the game pretty seriously. Like I was refereeing football. I refereed hockey as well, but it's just I love working with kids. I love refereeing kids. I love coaching kids. But like I I found with archery, I've been pretty lucky with adult students. They've come in. They were really open to learning. Actually, I had one kid who wasn't. He was almost impossible to coach. But I tried everything. Like I tried, but it was always like, oh, well, that hurts, and oh, this is this, and that's that, and well, I can't do it that way. And it's like, okay, well, what can you do? So anyways, eventually I just sat with his dad. I'm like, I just don't really think he really wants to do this.
That's a solid case of he's getting dragged to archery and he doesn't want to be there.
He just doesn't want to do it. So.
Yeah.
Because his dad told me it was get him to do push-ups every night and stuff, and I was like, so he gets strong enough. And I was like, well, that's the wrong methodology, dude. So, yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So, and like I'm kind of guilty of it myself because for my kids because because Valerie is pretty good. I'm decent, but but they see that we're pretty competitive about it. They just kind of lost interest right away. It's like, oh, we can never live up to those standards. And it's like, well, and I've tried lately just to try to make it fun, but they just don't have any interest. So
yeah, making it fun sometimes.
Yeah, I'm hoping that'll change. Yeah. So what program gets you most excited about that you offer?
I like the team, the competitive team. It's always been a project of mine. We started way back. I remember there was like 4 kids on the competitive team. One of them was my sister, and that's the first time we went to nationals. I think it was in Peterborough, way back, because it's now rotated back, and nationals is in Peterborough again because it rotates around the country, which is an awesome excuse to see Canada. You do nationals every year. You go to a different province. It's fantastic.
That's true.
Good excuse for some vacations. So, but that's how it started. It was 4 kids, and now on the competitive team, there's probably just under 40, and it's broken down into 4 different time slots. I've got 2 coaches helping me, and we've got a competitive team and a travel team now, where the travel team is expected to go to the big shoots. Like we're going to Lancaster, you have to go to that, and we're going to nationals, and they're used to traveling a lot more. we just did the tryouts for the Ontario team. I don't know what they call it, but they're going out to Alberta for a shoot.
Okay.
So we were just in Peterborough last weekend for tryouts for that, and we were going for 2 compound spots and 2 barebow spots, and we got all 4 spots for the team. I didn't have any Olympic recruits trying out, so that's some other kids got that. For, I'm not sure who made the team for that side, but all 4 of my kids made it onto the team for that. So they're going to go out to Alberta on January 1st. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice to see Archery Ontario funding some events. Last year was the first time they did it, and they sent a group down to Lancaster, and this year they're doing Alberta instead, keeping it in Canada.
Really?
Nice.
Good.
But it's nice to see funding and like things actually happening in Ontario, which is really nice. For a while there was just nothing, right?
Yeah. It's I'll keep my stuff. I'll keep what I want to say under my hat here. So
yeah, I'm not gonna say too much.
Yeah, like again, like they gave me provincials this year. So and yeah, so I think they're trying some different stuff over there. So I can't imagine it's easy.
Yep. No, it's not easy.
Because like you said, the community and I tend to forget this myself sometimes. It's not that big when you think about other sports. Like the membership. I can't remember what the membership number is for Archery Ontario, but it's got to be maybe 1,000 archers, right? So and you're kind of scraping the barrel to money wise to try to send kids here and there, and but so.
Yeah, and I mean, Archery Ontario is like, it's really small, but also Archery Canada in general is also really small, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's the other thing.
National wide is not great either.
Yeah,
the numbers for archery in Canada needs to grow, right?
I'm trying.
You guys are doing great stuff. Like this year, you're putting some big events and getting some really good numbers. When we showed up, that place was booming with people. It was awesome.
Yeah, you guys missed out on our. So we kind of did like a Triple Crown, we call the Full Draw Caribou Cup. There were some good archers there, man. I'll tell you. Some of them were from our clubs. The one guy who won nationals this year, Benoit Boulet, he's from our club. He actually worked on we had a bit of a competitive team, which we stole from you guys.
Yeah, it was great. It was looking good.
And and they're all adults. How we did it was just, okay, we have guys that are here that are struggling a bit. We have guys in the middle, and then we have a bunch of guys who are really good. They shot with each other. They talked about their game. Valerie kind of organized. She would go around and see. For example, Evan Jack was having an issue with it. He had a bit of a chicken wing as well. He had a lot of target panic, and Valerie worked with him. She noticed that Misha was not anchoring in the same spot every time, and she worked with that kind of stuff. She did a really great job. She's doing a good job at the athletic director position. She's got a lot of other ideas for this year. So I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, we're hoping that the competitive team grows. And just the jerseys, that's another great idea. Like, again, I mention this all the time. When you go to Lancaster and you see all these Hamilton Archery jerseys, you don't see any other, even the American clubs. Like, you don't see all these jerseys up, but you see all these yellow jerseys walking around. I'm like, oh, there you go. I'm watching on YouTube. There's Lee and his team. It's awesome.
Yeah, we stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, yeah. And you can see Lori running around and trying to keep everyone organized. So it's really cool.
Yeah,
it is really cool.
Yeah, and it's awesome seeing another team finally with like a bunch of numbers and jerseys on and nice and bright. It's good to see. I want to see more of that. I want to see every club start to push it a little bit more.
We're trying to get. Sorry, I know we're talking about my club now, but so Forest City Archers, Roland out of there, he called us and he kind of wants to do like a head-to-head kind of thing where we do a little bit of internal competition, and but he also was thinking of putting together some team jerseys. I talked to Julian Samard. He's on the fence about doing it, but there's archers over there. They're like, oh, well, that looks really cool. How come Royal City's doing it and we can't, right? And it is like I was telling Julian, you get to a shoot. If you don't know anybody and someone from Royal City just happens to show up you didn't know, and it's like, oh, there's a guy I know. I can go talk to that guy, right? So it's and also it creates that camaraderie you want. It creates this sense of pride that and community, right? Pride in your community that I think as human beings we're really lacking. And I say that almost every episode, but I'm sure everyone's probably tired of hearing me saying it. But I think I think it's important. I really think it's important. So,
Yeah, I mean the archery community in general too is like it's really unique. It's a small sport. It's not very popular, so everybody knows everybody, and there's not a lot of numbers, right? And
yeah,
it tends to bring in some different personalities. I know our club specifically, we bring in, and it's probably my fault, but more of the nerdy crowd, the quiet people, the introverts, and they thrive in this sport, right? It's you and the
yeah.
target, like it's perfect.
Yeah, it's that's a good point. It does draw a lot of it draws a lot of different people, but the one thing I find that a lot of them have in common is, or well, obviously when I say a lot of them, I'm talking to 80%. Or there's obviously the 20% that are whatever, but I find it really attracts a lot of intelligent people. They like to tinker with things. They like to experiment. They always have another hobby as well. Like for me, I used to play a lot of guitar and bass. And Justin's a carpenter. She's a carpenter as well. There's a lot of guys who, one of the things I think Misha wants to he wants to do like what they call it, a self bow. He wants to build his own bow. That kind of that kind of person it attracts. I don't meet too many people that when I talk to them, I'm like, oh, this guy doesn't have anything interesting to say. I'm usually there. That's probably why, like, Valerie can't stand it. She can't leave the club because I'm sitting there for another hour talking to somebody about their hobby, right?
Yeah.
And it's not even about archery. It's a really unique community, right? And I hope it gets bigger. And I think if it does get a bit bigger, it won't be as unique, but it needs to get bigger. I think it's a sport anyone can do, really.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, there's really no limitations.
Right.
There isn't really a reason why somebody can't do archery.
Exactly.
We've taught everybody.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's not for everybody, but you try it.
And we get a lot of people now actually who want to try it. So, but let's switch gears a bit and let's talk about. I know you wanted to talk about this as well. It's your fundraising for the Sick Kid Hospital.
Yeah, so we've been.
That's pretty awesome. How did that get started?
I think Lori picked it. I think we probably chatted about it at some point and kind of wanted to pick somebody to fundraise for, because a lot of the other clubs do a big fundraiser. The Boob Shoot's a big one, right? I can never make it out to that. I'm always busy, but their shoot's full anyway, so their numbers are great.
Yeah, they are.
We should
need a bigger venue.
Yeah, or maybe we can host one for them. I don't know. We'll see. I think we chatted to them one year. But anyway, we do McMaster Sick Kids. So we have raised a total of, we're a little bit over $10,000, and we've been doing it for 3 years, I think.
All right on.
Last year we made $5,200.
Nice.
This year the shoot is this weekend. We're currently sitting at $2,250 raised. And then at the shoot, we usually raise a whole bunch. So we should be pulling some good numbers this year. It's a weird, unique shoot. It was a Glenn idea. It's a fun one. It's an inside-out tournament where like the purpose is you're supposed to shoot the 1 and the 2 ring instead of the middle of the target. Which, as an archer, not aiming at the yellow is weird. I'm uncomfortable the whole time. But then we do a mulligan, so you can pay $2 and you can reshoot an arrow, and that raises a lot of money.
Yeah, I bet.
You buy poker chips and you chuck them on the ground when you want to reshoot an arrow, and there's a lot of poker chips on the ground. Yeah.
I haven't been to one. I gotta check that out.
It's fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. I really struggle with not shooting at the yellow. I struggle hard enough shooting at the yellow. So let's be honest.
Yeah, it's weird. It's not a comfortable thing to do as an archer when you're used to aiming at the yellow.
Hitting the 1 and the 2 ring, huh? And I'm just trying to picture that.
Yeah, aiming at and it's harder to hit a 1 or 2 than it is a 10. It's not a very big space. It's a couple inches wide, and if you miss, you get nothing.
It's like darts. Aiming for the 20, a little 20 round.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
I can't remember the rule. I think there's a rule if you miss. Well, if you miss, it's a 0 because the 1 is 10 and the 2 is 9. It's a fun one.
So you get some pretty good response from that. You get how many archers usually show up for that?
I think it's full, but we because it's a charity. If people still want it, we kind of jam it really, really full. We've got an okay amount of space at the club. We probably have about 60 people shooting it tomorrow.
Wow, right on.
Yeah,
that's
a good number.
That's really good. Yeah, that's a really awesome initiative. So that's the amount of money you guys raise. That's really awesome.
Yeah, it's nice to do something. You have one charity shoot every year, and usually throughout the year we'll raise a little bit of money for it here and there, and then see what we can put towards it.
Right on. So let's talk about that. What I think is probably something I really wanted to talk to you about is your competitive team. Uh, how did that program get started?
The program got started way back when we first do it. We did youth classes, and naturally in the youth classes, there are some kids who shine who are like, "Hey, I don't think this is the most productive place for you to be. We need something further for you, and let's start doing some competitions, right?" And that eventually grew into what it is now. So we started with probably 4 kids on the competitive team, and now there's like 40 kids on the competitive team. And we've had kids from, they say they start on the competitive team at like 12, and we've watched them grow up. Now they're off to university, right?
Mhm.
So it's really cool to watch that development happen. And if you want to put a lot of time in it, you can. If you want to stay at a provincial level, go for it. You want to do nationals, you kind of work with every individual to see like, what do you actually want out of this, right?
Right.
It's been a really, really great program. I got a little bit of stats. I went through and I counted because I had no idea how many medals we won last year. At a provincial level last year, we brought in 53 gold medals, 32 silvers, and 27 bronze medals.
Wow.
So that's 1 year at a provincial level. It's not counting national or anything like that, right? So
Wow, that's awesome.
we try and bring the medals in. Yeah, yeah. And we want more competition. There's not a lot of some of these kids categories. Like there's not a lot of. There's like 4 or 5 or 6, but I want to see other clubs bring in more kids. We want competition.
Yeah, that's that's kind of the other thing I wanted to talk to you about. Because that's the one thing I have we've got. Geez, what do we got? Maybe what do you think, Justin? What do we got? 3 kids maybe that come out and shoot. We've got Eric's son,
Yeah.
Tejas, which he's becoming a pretty good archer. He's got to put a little more time behind the bow, but he's become a pretty good archer. We've got Oliver, yeah,
Jackson.
Jackson. I think that's it. Fortunately, like Jackson is really like he is gung ho. So is Oliver. Like these guys. Oliver shot the Southern Canadian Classic. His philosophy was to hit all 12s.
Yeah.
And his dad tried to tell him, it's like, no, you want to, it's ASA. You want to kind of be a little more strategic. So I think he just finished out of the shoot offs. Which if you ever get a chance to go to Southern Canadian Classic and check out the kid shoot offs, it is so awesome. Carl Jones, I think he has 2 grandkids, and they were like number 1 and number 3 or something. These kids can shoot, man. I was like, I wouldn't even be able to shoot. I wouldn't even be able to beat those kids. They're hitting 14s, like upper 12s. They're calling one of the grandsons was calling upper 12 on a shoot off. I'm like, come on, man.
Thinking
Jeepers
about it.
creepers.
There's a lot of strategy when it comes to ASA. It's a cool format.
It is, yeah, it is. So, like, what's your philosophy with your competitive archers? Is it more form refinement, mindset consistency, all of the above?
All the above. It's breaking it down. I want it's important to strive for proper form, but there's unique things for individuals where like one thing will work for somebody and it won't work for another person to an extent, right? But there's fundamentals that need to be followed for everybody regardless of body shape, right? There's things that need to be done like proper alignment and stuff like that. So it's hammering down the fundamentals and getting, once they kind of are a little bit of they've got a little bit of experience, probably 2 or 3 years, we start getting into the mental stuff and mental process and mental mantras and stuff like that, where it's one thing to shoot good scores in practice. Can you do it when it matters, right? So getting the kids to get their practice scores being their competition scores is a really big focus of mine. It's your score is what it is, but can you do what you do in practice at a tournament? Can you not let that tournament mess you up, right? Can you stay in your process, which is really important.
Is there a couple of competitors that you really find or that really shone this year? I know I think I saw, was it Oliver Diplock and
Bennett Nelson, yeah. Oliver and Bennett they're those are the 2 compound shooters. They're really good. We got a bunch more, but Bennett he's been with us for a long time. He's about twice and a bit more the height than he was when he started. He was a funny one. He started back when PEI Nationals 4 years ago. It just so happened that his family was going to PEI for vacation the same time nationals was happening, and his dad went, "Should we shoot?" And I said, "Yeah, sign up. Who cares, right? Never done an outdoor competition. Just sign up. Let's do it." And I think he took first.
Yeah.
There's like 2 other kids in his category, and he took first. And ever since then, I don't think he's missed a nationals. He's broke almost every record that he wanted to, provincial wise and national wise. Dustin Watson, which is like, he's a really, really good shooter.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's Bennett's hobby to just go after his records and take him off the leaderboard. So he gets joy off picking each record one by one. So he's been
Yeah, I
doing really
know.
good.
Like Bennett's one of those kids too. Like you're saying, like that introvert type. And there was one time we were in Lancaster. I tried talking to him, and once you get him going,
He
it's hard to
talks.
get him to. It's hard to get him to stop.
Yeah.
Get him going is the hard parts.
Talk to him about fishing.
Oh, there you go. Next time I see him, I'll do that for sure.
Yeah. But
So and then, oh, go ahead.
sorry. Yeah, it's cool because students like that, Bennett specifically. I just got back from the range. I snuck out early. The line was full, like full to the point where my dad had to step off so like an actual, paying archer can shoot, which he was super sad about. But as I was leaving, Bennett was chatting with a new gentleman that like just started shooting at her club. I think it's the second or maybe third time coming, and he's
right on.
got a teenager talking to a full-grown adult, going, "You need to loosen up that grip a little bit. It's gonna get rid of some of those flyers, right?" He's going out of his way to give him tips, and it's good stuff,
Nice.
right? He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Loosen up
There
the
you
grip,
go.
right? So
Well,
yeah.
he's learning from his coach. That's the thing, right? So that's awesome. That's awesome. And speaking of, like coaches, like who? I know you've got Jake. Who else coaches there? Is your dad? And
My dad a little bit. He's more shooting. He'll help out when we need somebody.
Okay.
We've got Jacob Dillon, who was on the original competitive team way back when we started.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he started compounds, switched to recurve, went on the national development team, went through all of that. Now he's back to a regular at our club, still shooting Olympic. But he is stepping up in the coaching world quite a bit. He's a really good coach. He's super enthusiastic
right
about
on.
stuff. And then we have Katie Chung.
Yeah, Katie. Yep.
She just started coaching. She's been doing fantastic. Hard to find female coaches, and she's doing great.
For sure. For sure.
And then Jackie, you'll randomly see him at events. He's great. He helps out with our group events sometimes.
Yeah. Actually, I really like Jackie.
Jackie's good.
He's a fun dude.
Yeah.
He's a fun dude. And then, how do you build a sense of team in a sport where everyone competes individually?
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of group chats. We have we keep everybody connected at all times, right? So we use an online group chat. We use Discord. We have a server. We keep everybody connected and talking. It's very easy for the kids to reach out to each other and talk and stuff like that. I push them to, in an individual sport, do matches, like team matches and stuff like that. I'll randomly go, "Okay, guys, we're doing team matches today." We'll randomly make the teams up. We'll make them interact with each other, and then eventually they do it on their own. So as long as you force them to interact a little bit, they'll create, friendships, and they take it on from there. Right.
Yeah, especially with the shy kids, it's sometimes a bit of a challenge, right? So
Yeah, we break those shy kids really quick. They don't stay shy for very long. That's a goal of ours. We had I won't say names, but we had a female archer youth a long time ago. She probably started 5 years ago, and she shot with our club for 3 years or 4 years. And it was the shyest kid ever. Couldn't get a word out of her. Mom would speak for her sometimes, and just 0 words. And I went, we'll see what we can do about that. And we got her chatting. She's not shy
Right on.
anymore.
Right now, that's good. Yeah, I know. Like you, I see Laurie a lot of times there, talking to the kids, and yeah, I can see how that I can break shyness pretty quick with you guys around.
Oh yeah, and a big
You
thing
guys are
too
pretty easy
for
going, so
oh yeah, it's
yeah.
very relaxed. But a big thing too for me as a coach, I don't deal with parents. I talk to the kids. The kids are responsible for knowing their schedule. They're responsible, right? And if they miss a date, they miss a date, and it's their fault. And pay more attention, right? But equipment stuff, I talk to the kids. The kids can then go and talk to the parents, right? So that kind of gives them a sense of responsibility. They got to pay attention to the chat, know where they need to be, when they need to be, and they're responsible for themselves, right?
Yeah, that's a great idea, because I know when I coached hockey, the parents were very involved. And again, it's almost like sometimes I wanted to just didn't want to coach anymore. But I love the game so much, and I had so much fun, with those kids. Man, oh man, we won. I had a group of kids, so because it was 8 and 10, and then I would get their brothers the next the 2 years later, I get most of the brothers as well. So they already knew my coaching philosophies and my style, and getting them used to it was easy. It was the parents who, oh, you're not giving them enough ice time, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. And I'm like, give everyone the same amount of ice time, guys.
Yeah.
I've got a stopwatch here, and I make sure everyone gets the same amount of time. But yeah, it's like that example I gave earlier. Like parents can like ruin the sport for kids, right? So and it's too bad.
Yeah, quite easily. And archer, like the kids need to be coached, but the parents need to be coached too. Like it's the coach does have to kind of explain to the parents a little bit of what they need to be looking for. Like you'll see it all time and time again with the kids starting with like the intro programs or the private lessons, and the parents going, yeah, they hit the yellow, and it's like, the arrows that didn't hit the target were the good ones. They're consistent. They just luckily hit the middle of the target, right? That's not. Don't celebrate that. Celebrate the consistency. Like you need to be looking at the right things, right?
Yeah.
They touched the face 4 arrows, and then the one arrow they didn't touch their face, they hit the middle. It's not the good one.
Yeah, that's I try to teach them a game. Like like I said, when I referee football, I try to teach people the game of football, like American football. Forget it. It's a complicated enough game. And I remember I had a dad once yelling at me, and so I went over to talk to him. I said, "Listen, like, what's your beef?" And he says, "I don't really know. I don't even know how this game works." I was like, "So why are you yelling at me for?"
Just getting into
it. He's just into the game. He just wanted to yell at somebody. So I was like, "All right, fine." I said, I guess I'll take that abuse for now." So yeah, but it's something else. Anyways, I haven't had that experience in archery. No one's yelled at me yet. So coaching their kids, and it's gotten. I got a few parents into it. I coached a young fellow. His mom got into it. Now they're shooting. They got a membership and they're shooting by themselves. They haven't asked for any coaching, which is fine. Like I tell people, I'm like, I think like when we had Chris Priester on, Chris Priester puts it best. He's like, I'm not a coach. I don't want to be your full-time coach. I'm kind of like, I'll give you some pointers, work on that stuff, and if you need me, just give me a call. We'll meet up. We'll see if you've got it down. And unless you're on a competitive team, it'll be a little bit different strategy, obviously. But if you're doing this for a hobby and you want to have fun with it, yeah, well, I'll give you some pointers so you have a little more fun. Like obviously. Hitting the target's more fun than not. So,
yep.
But
not looking for arrows.
even Justin could attest to that, So, but yeah. So we're gonna move into our what we call our quick fire round, and I guess we should specify the answers don't have to be quick, but as in short, they can be long. But whatever comes to your mind, just go with that. So. First question is, what's one thing Hack does really well?
Youth. We teach youth really well. We've been doing it for a long time, and we've got it down pat. We've got an introduction to archery class in the youth league, and the youth league is always bumping. We always got kids having fun and socializing and shooting arrows.
Nice. What's one piece of equipment that beginners overthink?
One piece of equipment. Ooh. For compound, get equipment in general that's micro adjustable. Spend the money. Just do it. Pay once, cry once. Get something that's micro adjustable. Get something used. Doesn't matter. For bare bow, a plunger and an arrow rest. Get proper arrow flight. Helps.
Nice. So what's a habit you wish every archer had?
Ooh, a habit every archer would have. Practice with purpose. When you go into the range, don't fling arrows. I'm just scoring arrows. Like, what are you focusing on? Pick one thing and work on it. And then at the end of practice, pick something for the next week or the next time you shoot, right? When you go and start a day going, I've got archery practice today, you should already know what you're working.
What's your favorite part of coaching?
Watching the kids succeed. Watching when they're in a shootout and they've got to hit that 10, they hit it under pressure when everybody's watching, when it matters, right? It feels really good to watch them follow through what they've been practicing for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, I think even for me, like I guess there's people who are coaches and there are people who are competitors, right? And it goes for me with hunting as well. Like I get more thrill out of watching someone else succeed than me succeeding. I know the same for you. That's how I am. Like I remember I set Valerie up for a bear hunt, and she's always like, "Wow, you guys did all the work." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's like when you got that bear, it was for me. It was like the best thing in the world. Like I was so overjoyed just to see the look on her face and how how excited she was, and all the emotions that she felt, being successful. Like I shot a moose this year, and it was my first moose. I was not as excited shooting that as I was watching her shoot that bear. And it wasn't even really a trophy bear. It was just her first, right? And it was awesome.
I mean, that's like the first experience is really big, right? Like the first time she gets
Yeah.
one, it's pretty
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, and it's like it's gotten her into, that's what's kept her into hunting. And I know we're hoping this year to do 2026 we do an archery bear. But let's keep my fingers crossed. It's just it's so expensive, man. Bear hunting is something else, baiting and everything. And then there's the fun question. And Misha usually asks this question of all of our archers: if you had unlimited money, this is for your own setup, what would be your ideal compound setup? And then we'll actually ask you your ideal bear bow setup would be after that.
Compound setup would be exactly what I'm shooting. Got the Gen 2 Bowtech Reckoning. Thing is so easy to tune. It shoots great. I've tried all the bows, and that's my favorite. And I had an opportunity to get the new Matthews when we were at Lancaster, and the Bowtech's doing great. Don't really need it. And then Excel sight. Can't beat an Excel sight. So good. Spot hog swap. Best rest that is at the market. You can switch from skinny arrows to big arrows really fast, and you can keep it tuned, and it's convenient when you're going from 3D to target or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the bow. I wouldn't change anything. It's the same thing I'm shooting.
Right on. How about bear bow?
Bear bow's a different thing. I switched to bear bow this indoor season just as a fun challenge, and it's a lot of work. Bear bow's hard. It takes a lot of discipline. Bear bow I would probably change up a little bit. I'd probably go with like the new Gilo just to have the extra range of adjustment for draw weight for tuning is super handy to have. That's probably it. Just probably switch my riser.
So do you find you've gained a new respect for these guys who shoot those things?
I knew bear bow was hard. I'm way back when we teach bear bow at the start. That's how I think everybody should learn. It's awesome fundamentals. And I picked it up and I shot it for a while there, and then I focus on compound, but I've got a lot of bear bow students, and I've always loved bear bow. Bear bow is the hardest way to shoot, hands down. It takes so much discipline to be successful with bear bow, and the slightest mistake is just huge impact. So it's a really fun way to shoot. Shooting bear bow this year, we've had some frustrating practices, but it's part of it. It is what it is.
For sure. Yeah, I'm actually thinking of switching over just again for fun. I do love my compound bow. Like Christ sakes, I just bought a Matthews title last year, so
Nice bow.
So there's no way I could switch over to bear bow now, but Valerie would kill me for sure. So she's pretty easy going when it comes to buying things when it comes for archery, but yeah, not that easy going. So
you get bear bows, you can get a cheap setup, and it's not much worse than like an expensive setup. It's the same thing.
Yeah, like I guess the one, I don't know how to put this and not sound mean, but the one good thing about the kind of the tanking economy is even the bear bow guys are trading in their bows or selling them, because Shooters has a bunch of, it's just got a couple of Gilos in there, older ones. The G2, that's all I would need anyways. I know it doesn't have the adjustment. I do like the risers. I shot Dylan's a few times. His G2, I liked it. He was going to sell it to me, and then he wanted to keep it. So I was like, okay, well.
You almost had one.
But I can't. I don't know. Like, I just can't afford the. Like, Christ, what is for a bear bow riser now? We're talking $1,200, right?
So if you want a top end one, you'd get into bear bow. You'd be perfectly fine with one that's I got risers for $150 that'll go up to 40 pounds. That's all you need.
No, yeah, that's
You don't need more.
Yeah,
than
I don't think I have to go past 40 pounds. Right now I got a bow fishing bow. It's Amazon. I wouldn't use that, but it's 45 pounds, and I have a hard time getting that thing back.
That's a lot. A lot of bear bow archers get in way too heavy of a draw weight. You look at the competitive guys, they're only shooting 45 at the most,
Right.
and they're shooting all the time to do that. If you're a casual bear bow archer and you're shooting once or twice a week, don't go over 40.
Yeah. Well, and even if you are, I know my friend Levy, he's he was starting to struggle this year, and he dropped back down to 35 pounds, but he shoots consistently. He shoots every day. He's struggling with a few things. I think it's target panic, but I don't know for sure. So, and he actually for his birthday, Valerie and I bought him a lesson with Griff.
Nice.
Yeah, he was, man. It's his favorite YouTuber, so he was like over the moon meeting Griff.
Yeah.
And so he sent us the video of him actually talking. It was awesome. Like, what a gentleman that guy is, man.
He's a wealth of knowledge. That guy's
he's
good.
And yeah, I was shocked that he was really shocked, but it was cool that he knew as soon as he saw so he has you send a video in, and right away he's like, oh, I can see what your issue is, and he pointed out what Levy was doing and helped him out and gave him some training tools. Which one of them was the I can't remember what that brace is called that lets you dry fire your bow without blowing it up. Yeah, so he had him. He told him to work on that because I guess he was struggling with release, right? Releases compound, releases bare ball, releases everything, right? So that's an old Carl Dorner saying, releases everything. So yeah,
shot trainers are great.
Yeah, so he got to do that. It was, but it was really cool that he got to meet Griff because it was, like I said, it's his favorite guy. So cool. So we'll wrap things up a bit. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I like I like the model. The Hamilton Archery model is accessible. The pay as you go. I love the competitive team, man. You guys are doing awesome. Like I keep seeing, I keep forwarding or sharing the Archery Ontario announcements about your kids and how well they're doing. It's awesome to see all this, and because I've met them, like I've met Oliver and Bennett, and I was with them when they were in Lancaster, so it was really cool. And so you guys are and the fundraising for sick kids, man. You guys are really making a real impact there at Hamilton Archery. So
thanks. We try our best.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, thanks. It's great for people to hear the why behind what you do.
So you actually, before we go, give us your socials, your website, and all that stuff where people can find Hamilton Archery online.
Yeah, just search Hamilton Archery Center. We'll pop up. We're on everything.
Okay.
Facebook, Instagram. The website, it's got all the information about lessons and booking, and if you want to book something, it's just go to the website. It'll pull up a calendar, and it's easy to book. We make it as easy as possible. We've got all the indoor shoots up there. We've got at least one tournament every month. Nice. Come shoot some spots.
Yeah, I will probably be there at least once. Although Valley are members of Archers of Caledon, so it's a little bit closer for us, but we will come out to Hamilton for sure. We do enjoy the atmosphere there. So, but yeah. Actually, before we get going, is there anything else you wanted to say about the club, about the competitive team, anything like that?
Come do our Lancaster shoot. We're doing a Lancaster practice shoot in what's the date? I'm blanking here. I can check really quick. We're gonna do a format where there's gonna be some shoot ups or shoot downs, whatever you want to call it. Where it's you get put on the spot and you've got to shoot your match. When are we doing it?
8th December.
Yes, that sounds right. There it is. 20th of December. So we've got bare bow in the afternoon and compound and Olympic recurve in the morning. It's just going to be a normal 60-euro qualifier, and then we do some shootouts after that. So opportunity for shootouts doesn't happen a lot.
I'll put that on. I'll put that on our socials. I'll forward that because actually I'm really interested in shooting that because if there's any way I'm going to make a shoot down, it probably won't be at Lancaster's. It might be at Hamilton Archery. So. Awesome. That's actually just to get by the format's going to be very similar to like a Lancaster shoot, right? You'll have a flight, you'll rank people, and then how are you going to do like a shoot down?
Yeah, so it's going to be 60-euro qualifier, Lancaster scoring, so X is 11 points, and then the shoot downs are going to be based off of, we're thinking top 8. So top 8, we're going to break down like Lancaster. 8 and 7 go against each other, and they run it all the way up to number 1.
Wow, that's awesome.
There's going to be multiple categories shooting at the same time, but only one shootout per division happening at the same time. So it depends how many people we get and how many categories we get. We're going to try to keep everybody in their own category. I think the rule we set for ourselves is if there's at least 4 archers in a category, then we can do a shoot up with them. But
that's so cool. It's
more fun when there's like 8. There's got to be some
for sure. That sounds like a blast.
It's gonna be fun.
Justin, you got to check that out.
Yeah.
That's the one. If you're gonna do one, that's the one.
Yeah, the Lancaster shoot. It's fun, man. That's gonna be awesome. Gotta check it out, dude. That's
It's-
one paper event that's fun.
Eh,
Shootouts is fun. Indoors can be boring, but shootouts, there's ways to make it fun. Shootouts are great,
Yeah,
right?
shootouts
But
are
you got to
great.
get the boring
Shoot-
qualifier out of the way.
shootouts are totally fun.
There you go. Yeah.
But
It's still paper.
it's still paper.
All right, indoor 3D it is then, Justin. So there you go. So for that half of the folks listening at home, if you're listening on Spotify, hit follow. If you're watching this on YouTube, which is probably just Jill's Jip, but he's loyal. We love him. So stick around after the music. We have outtakes, and this is a letdown. Thanks again, Lee. Really
Thanks for having me.
appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's great to hear. Let's cut that out.
Yeah, don't worry.
Sorry. It's great to hear for people. Sorry.
Well, we got some outtakes now. Thanks, Justin.